Hey, this is Mikey B with Beckley's RVs. Water systems in RVs is very basic. However, they use two methods to provide water inside. Let's check out how everything flows and get down into it. So most RVs have, like I said, two methods to provide water inside. You have a freshwater connection and a city water connection. Freshwater connection is a potable tank. That's going to be the water that you take with you. For example, if you're boondocking or going to a state park that doesn't have the direct hookup. The second one is your city water connection. It's nicknamed city water because that is water that you're hooking up that has direct pressure that feeds everything inside. Now to explain the two differences, essentially again, the freshwater connection is a potable tank, basically water in a bucket, so to speak. Simply just hook up your hose, and there is no thread, so it's going to lay flat in there. Hook up your other end to your water source and turn it on. You might say, how do I know if it's full? Either it's going to spit out right here when it's full, or there is an overflow built into the tank and you'll see it dripping out at the bottom. The easiest way, or the easiest method I should say, to check in case you didn't want to take a full tank is inside. We'll show you a little bit later. There's a monitor panel that will show you empty, 1/3, 2/3, and of course full. The second source, which will probably run in, I don't know, 90% of the time, most of the time, the city connection. Again, this is pressurized water coming from your source at the campground. This does have a threaded end, because again, pressure. And the other end will simply go to your water source. We highly, highly recommend that you use a pressure regulator. Most pressure regulators, it can be purchased in our parts store, is set at a max 40 PSI. Anything beyond that, potentially you're going to have a sprinkler system going inside because of the fittings not handling the pressure. We recommend putting this at your water source to catch the pressure right away, so also doesn't do any harm to your water hose. Once the water source is turned on, then like your house or city water, simply turn on the cold or hot faucet, shower, etc., and you'll have water at your disposal. All right, as I mentioned outside, you have a way to check your tank levels, especially again if you're taking potable water. And the potable water, you don't have to take a full tank. For example, if you just wanted some water from point A to point B to make the pit stop, or if you're making a quick stop overnight. The freshwater tank, many RVs have some way of labeling the potable tank. And again, most of the time it's just simply labeled freshwater. If you push your button, it'll again tell you empty, 1/3, 2/3, or full. This is a great quick indicator of dictating on how much water you want to take it, again, if not a full tank. But again, as I mentioned, potable water is just a water in a bucket, so there's some way that you need to be able to pull the water out, and that's going to be via your water pump switch. This is only intended for water to be pulled out of that tank. If you're hooked up to the city connection, again, as I mentioned outside, that's your pressurized water. There's nothing that you have to do. If by chance the water pump switch is on while you're hooked up to the campground's water, no harm, no foul. You just might hear the water pump kick on and off as you turn that source off. This switch is going to be turned on when you're ready to start using the camper and will stay on for the duration of your trip. And when you're ready to close down, you turn it off. It is built based on pressure to kick on when needed. So i.e. if you turn the faucet on, cold or hot, pressure drops, the pump kicks on. All right, gang, for all those that are going to be using the potable tank or the freshwater tank going on those boondocking trips, get a lot of questions like, how long is that water going to last? It's hard to answer. It's going to last as much as you use it, or quick as you use it, or vice versa. So the couple tips to help prolong your usage or prolong the water source to get more days out of your camping trip without having to break camp and fill up the tank. Best one for starters is obviously you're at a campground with probably bathhouses. So try to use the toilet at night, or in other words, just those midnight potty breaks. Try to use the bathhouse as much as you can throughout the day, so that way you're not having to worry about using the water to flush the toilet every time you use it. The biggest one is you enjoy your wonderful hot showers at home and your water is always on, correct? In RVs, you have a 6-gallon water heater typically, or a small, let's just say a small water heater. More importantly, you only have so much water to use. Many RVs have a built-in shutoff valve. You could set your temperature the way that you like it, and before you get the soap up, you shut the valve off, cut your water source, soap up, and then you can turn it back on without having to mess your hot and cold temperature and finding that right temp again. So between those two, and of course the obvious is trying to limit washing hands with running water, or brushing teeth with running water while you're brushing your teeth. Try to nip a little bit of water here and there throughout the day as much as you can by, again, utilizing the bathhouse. So hopefully this tips will help you and get a few days out of your trip without, again, having to break camp or trying to find more water source.
For more information, visit our website, links in the description, or shoot us a call and visit us today. We'd love to be your RV dealer. Welcome to the family.